Welcome to AAMC Training. Today we will going to hear a talk about digital disruptions, how bots can take your job, by Jeff Mazzini. Please welcome.
They've just done a survey in the UK, and there's an average number of hours a person in the UK works. Would anyone like to have a guess? How many they're supposed to come to work for 7.5, 8-hour days? Does anyone would like to have a guess on how many actual hours a person in the UK on average works in a day? Doesn't matter if you get it wrong or right. Anyone have a guess?
6?
No.
One.
Close.
One.
That's it.
One hour.
One is close. One is close. It's actually 2.5. And I'm just reading a report tonight, actually this afternoon, where they're now Amazon starting to experiment with cutting people's work hours back to 4-hour days. Now the reason they're doing that is because that's what they get more productivity. A worker will work 4 hours, but they won't work 8 hours because it's, they start to get bored and drift off and things start to happen, yeah? So what you're seeing too with the way this artificial intelligence is rolling out, you will see people working less hours. You will see people being supported more by artificial intelligence with data that they themselves or other people have been processing for them to come up with solutions. Another problem we have is, which is also forcing artificial intelligence to move faster, is resistance of humans against change and challenges. The number one thing that's preventing humans from actually being who they really could be in life is their resistance, is the fear and resistance to change. And that's holding a lot of people back, okay? So that is also speeding up the movement. Another big problem we're facing around the world is the slowness of education, regulators, systems, lecturers and courses to keep pace with what's required in today's world, the digital age space. It is a big problem. I'll give you some examples. In India, IT engineering students, and there was a lot of IT engineering colleges spread right across India. The employability rate of people coming out of 4-year engineering degrees, 8%. 8% of all those many thousands of people that are doing the courses, only 8% of them are employable. You then move across into the vocational high schools. Year 12, not hearing? Is that sounding all right? Okay. Year 12, only 14% of the students coming out of the schooling system in India are employable. 14%. Now, that in itself, the only reason I'm giving you the stats on India is because the figures are available. They're not available that I can find for every other country. So no doubt every other country's got the same problems. And that's why, another reason why employers are saying, if we can't get skilled labour, we have to get it from somewhere, so we're going to use bots and robots. Okay. A survey was done by Forbes. Now, Forbes is a global company, and it was identified from employers, research was done with employers to determine what were the skill weaknesses of people they were looking to employ. And as you can see there's the top 10 areas that people suffer from, which prevent the employers from getting a skilled worker. Now, these things can be fixed, and the team who's here today, we have solutions to fix these problems. But this goes further because when I speak to universities and that, say in Australia, about bringing students from overseas into Australia, they would actually pick a lot of these issues as well. There's the foreign students coming into Australia to go to university, really struggle for a long time because they lack these skills, a lot of these vital skills to be able to get on and do their studies. So these sort of things should be taught in the schooling systems, but they're not being taught in the schooling system. And that's why quite often too in Australia even, we are in the vocational area responsible to try and clean up the mess of the schooling systems. So we have to put people through learning, literacy and numeracy skill training, we have to test their skills and everything as well to try and sort it out. We have a look at the next area, which is the, this is for Indonesia. The deficiencies and areas that needs fixing for mid-tier managers. As you can see, there is quite a lot of areas, and if you compare them back to that last list that I gave you, you'll probably find that a lot of them will correlate. And one of the biggest things today that Indonesia is facing is it's a global world. There's lots of islands and lots of water around Indonesia, but it will not protect Indonesia or Australia. Any country now is not protected because of the internet. And one of the big things, as you see, that global operating is the foreign language skills, ability to work in multiple overseas locations, understanding international markets, and ability to manage diverse employees. Those issues listed there would be common, I would say, across every country, not only Indonesia. Yeah. So it's a human thing. It's not just Indonesia, but these are some of the areas that could be focused on as well for the mid-tier management. And as we all know, with Indonesia, when the GFC hit, one of the first things a lot of companies did, they got rid of middle management, didn't they? Because they were the most easiest person to get rid of, and they were expensive. So they got rid of them, and then it left a huge vacuum in the labour force from that point on.